What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. Hope you are all doing very, very well. We're going to keep talking about Holy Paladin, a new combo that I have for you today. I want to talk about Veneration, which is over here on the spec side, plus Vanguard's Momentum, which is going to be all about Hammer of Wrath. We're going to talk about that combo on today's video for Holy Paladin. And in particular, it's all in the context of how you can do damage while healing, which I think is a really important thing for healers to do nowadays in Season 2. So we're going to dive right into that, and let's start by talking about the damage plus healing combo. In Season 2, we began this season as healers kind of getting like kicked in the face, where the mobs, Blizzard changed the health of all the mobs in the game and they buffed them by about 20%. And then, they buffed the health pool of allies by about 15 or 20%. And then they buffed the damage that monsters do by about 20% as well. They didn't touch healers' healing or healers' mana pools or anything like that. So healers didn't get buffed at all, but incoming damage went up and allies' health pools went up as well. So now we have more health to heal and the health goes down quicker because they take more, our allies take more damage. That was really tough for healers. And for me in particular, what I think it hurt the most was healers' ability to do active damage. When you're pressing one GCD and it does damage only and it doesn't heal, that's a really hard thing to do now because there's so much healing required in all of these dungeons that we're doing. We're doing a lot of big dungeons. I've been doing some on my Paladin, finally getting to like plus 21s over here. Done some 20s, or 20, 20, and then 21s. I'm getting to 20s on the rest of them very soon. But the damage is really spiky. It's really hard. It hits really, really hard. And you have to have heals that can match that. If you want to have any shot of doing any damage in a Mythic Plus key, you need to find ways of doing damage while healing at the same time. Lots of healers have some solutions to this, right? Like shamans have Acid Rain. Monks can just spinning Crane Kick on their Phaline, and they're doing a bunch of damage while healing as well. That's one of the better ones. For Holy Paladin, I think one of the best ways to accomplish this is by combining Vanguard's Momentum with Veneration. So let's see what Veneration does to try and help us solve this need to do damage while also healing at the same time and how important that is. So number one, Hammer of Wrath heals up to 5 injured allies for 200% of the damage done split evenly among them. Flash of Light, Holy Light, and Judgment critical strikes reset the cooldown of Hammer of Wrath and make it usable on any target. So remember, you can use Hammer of Wrath on anybody that's within execute range, so 20% of their health or lower, or you can use it during wings, right, during Avenging Wrath. The cool thing about Veneration is, of course, that we're now turning a DPS button into a healing button, which is really, really good. And I'm going to show you the numbers right now. Let's take a look at this really quick. Here's a clip of me in a plus 20 freehold. So we were taking some damage from this Enforcer. I was just healing everybody up. This guy gets within execute range. You can see my Hammer of Wrath immediately lights up, and I have 2 charges of it because of Vanguard's Momentum. We'll get to that in a minute. I throw my first charge of Hammer of Wrath right here. It does 26k, and then it heals 4 people for 200% of that. So 13.7 times 4, that's 200% of 26k, right? So it basically doubles it. Instead of 26k healing, it produced about 50,000 healing right there, which is pretty cool. Remember, that also goes into my beacons. Unfortunately, at this point, we had all died, and I hadn't put my beacons back on. But if they were there, it would all go into my beacons as well. Then I throw my second charge of Hammer of Wrath right here. Boom, and it crits 50k damage, and then it does 100k healing. Actually, 130k. 6 times 4 is about 24. It's about 130,000 healing that 50.5k damage produced. So this is really where it gets crazy to me, is that it's going to produce this kind of healing if you're able to crit all the time, or at least frequently. And remember, you can get crit from Avenging Wrath, and you can just have crit on your gear as well. The value of this really starts to take off when we talk about Vanguard's Momentum. Hammer of Wrath gets 1 extra charge, and on enemies below 20% health, which is almost all the time, it generates 1 additional holy power. The extra holy power that it generates is kind of just the cherry on top. Like, we don't really care about that because there is ridiculous amounts of holy power generation on Holy Paladin now. Holy Shot gives it to you. You can do Hand of Divinity, and if you're hitting like your beacons, you're getting a bunch of holy power. You're getting tons of holy power from the tier set bonus because of Holy Prism. You can, after you cast Daybreak, your next 3 Holy Shocks will cast additional times, giving you additional holy power. Awakening's doing it for you. Like, this is just, it's crazy. We don't really need more holy power, but it's kind of the icing on the cake. It's really nice. I'll take more holy power for free. What we really care about is getting 1 extra charge, because that doubles the amount of Hammer of Wrath that we can throw whenever we want to throw them. And you just saw in that clip I just showed you, I threw 2 Hammer of Wraths back to back. One did 50k healing. The other one did 130k healing. So I threw 2 Hammer of Wraths and produced 180,000 healing, which is really good. And that would also go into my beacons. I happen to run Beacon of Faith, which is really, really good, I think, for this kind of a setup. So this is the combo I'm talking about. And the problem that we're talking about, right, is how to do damage while healing at the same time, because we're really GCD locked as a healer. The higher keys that you push, the more intense that it gets, you don't have a lot of room to do damage. So this is one way that we can do it. What do the numbers look like? Well, on the dummies that I was just testing, here's my beacon and here's my veneration. I basically just threw beacons while the test dummy's in here. I threw my Hammer of Wrath at an enemy and it produced 265k healing. I threw my Hammer of Wrath 4 times. It produced that much healing just from 4 throws. And then all of that healing went into my 2 beacons. Not all of it. I did cast Holy Shock a little bit of Light of Dawn. But about, 200k or so went into the beacons. Let's just show it right here. I'll just do a couple more beacons and I'll show you really quickly because we might as well. So we'll start off. We got our beacons going here. I'll just reapply them just to make sure. Here we go. I'm going to start combat. I'm going to throw this, and then we're going to go into wings. I'm going to pop my Hammer of Wrath. There's the healing over there. There's some more healing over there. We'll do a couple. See if we get a reset from Judgment. Didn't get a reset. It's okay. We're still going here. I'm not going to cast any other healing spells. We'll just do a couple more Hammer of Wrath. Maybe just one more. If I get a refresh on the Judgment here, I did not. Here's Hammer of Wrath. Boom, it's going to produce healing over there. So, Veneration does 130k. My Beacon's doing 115k, 110k. It's going up again because of Merciful Auras. But the point is, you can combine these things together to produce a bunch of extra healing, all from your damage. That's what's really cool. It's all coming from your damage. If we look at this Underwrought 21 that I did, you can see over the course of an entire dungeon, Greater Judgment was really good. Holy Shock, Word of Glory. There's Veneration. 10.2% of my healing. It did 5 million healing. That's from me throwing Hammer of Wrath. It just did. That's just all that is. And then a bunch of that also went into my Beacon, which is really good. Obviously, overhealed 77%. But the point is, we're producing healing from damage. That's the main point that I'm trying to get across there. We're producing healing from damage. You can see Hammer of Wrath ended up being my 2nd highest damaging ability because I was able to throw it 107 times. I don't know why it says it only hit 105 times. Not really sure what happened there. Maybe I missed or something. The point is, I get to do a bunch of extra damage because of the extra charge of Hammer of Wrath that I'm getting. So whenever I'm in wings, I can throw 2 of them. Whenever enemies start getting low, I can throw 2 of them, right? Instead of 1. So I'm getting extra damage from the extra casts of Hammer of Wrath. All of that healing is coming out from Veneration, and then you can push a bunch of that healing into your Beacon as well. And if you're running something like Beacon of Virtue, that's even more healing that you're shoving into that Beacon as well. It's, it's really up to you. So I think that this is a really, really good solution for Holy Paladin to continue to keep their damage relevant and high in the Mythic Plus experience, while also providing healing at the same time. Anytime you can press 1 GCD and it produces damage and healing, and then that healing also goes into the Beacon, and it can produce extra holy power, that's a really good button to press. You really want buttons that are efficient like that, and they accomplish like multiple things in one press. That is what you're looking for when you're a healer, and that's exactly what Vanguard's Momentum and Veneration will do when you're throwing your Hammer of Wraths. The only other caveat I would say is that you could also take Avenging Wrath Might, but then you might not be able to take like Rising Sunlight or Boundless Salvation. So really, you could get the extra crit from this Avenging Wrath Might in order to guarantee that you're going to get more crits on your Hammer of Wraths, so that they will crit for damage and crit for healing. And also, if you get a crit on your Judgment, it will reset Hammer of Wrath and give it back to you. So there's something to be said there. But the point is, this combo, I think, is really, really strong, both for damage and for healing. And I think you guys should try it out in your Mythic Plus dungeons if you're not trying it already. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Have you tried Veneration out? If you haven't, I really think you should, and let me know what your experience is with it, because I think this is a wonderful thing to be taking into your keys. I'm playing it right now in plus 20, plus 21 keys, and it's working out just fine. So definitely give it a shot. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below about this. Thank you so much again for watching. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one.